Welcome back. It is Friday, 3:30. It is time for In Question. And today we have some very special guests who flew in all the way from L.A. to be here today. Now, you may have seen them before because they have come on sometimes on via video conferencing, but today they are live here in the studio, and we are honored to have them. And I'd like to go around the table. We have Mr. Black Jagger, singer, songwriter, producer. We have our buddy, mega record label owner, Push Power 48, yeah. Mr. Kevin Fisher.
Yes, yeah.
And beautiful.
It's
Love that excitement.
It's Friday.
But then we're going to move to the other side, and we have the lovely Christina, who is building one of today's most influential schools called Smart City, Smart Academy, where kids can go to learn about specifically about what their dream is, and she's making those dreams come true, helping all these beautiful children, because children are our future, and there is some massive music, and that's why these group. Yeah, and then we have Dan Corey, who you know.
That's right.
That's right.
Dan the man.
Dan the man.
Dan the man.
Dan the man.
Baseball player, actor. His list of accomplishments are so long I can't even list them all at the moment.
Can't find the list.
Can't find the list. And a band owner and a band drummer. So he's also involved in music, which is pretty amazing because everybody here is about music. So I'd like to start the show kind of giving everybody a little time to explain themselves. Mr. Jagger here is a singer-songwriter. He's got a new debut album coming out. He's got a wonderful song. I'd like you to kind of describe the music, give us a little bit of background to how this music came to be.
Well, I'm just, first of all, I want to say thank you for having us on the
Absolutely.
show, bringing us out here.
You're awesome.
We feel absolutely fantastic to just be able to share what we're doing on the platform. The music came by way of just really just touching the deepest part of who I am, and then Kevin came and he said, I really want you to tell the truth to the world,
For a singer, you're pretty quiet. You got to talk up a little bit.
I want to make sure you guys hear me. So, Kevin came.
Your grown man voice.
One day, Kevin came to the studio. He said, "Listen, man, I need you to talk that talk to the world." And I said, "I got you. There's nothing else to say." And I went in there, and he built a studio for me in a month. We drove.
Built a studio for you in a month.
Yeah,
that's dedication.
So I'm gonna tell you this story. So he's like, "All right, we're gonna find a place to get a studio because we're not gonna play for studio time." So we're driving. And we drive by this really nice gated community, and he's like, "We're gonna build a studio there in one of those places." And then it happened.
That is record label money right there.
But he's failing to tell you that we did not.
We didn't even go inside.
Oh, you just picked it?
We drove by, and I said, "We're gonna have it right there."
And literally,
that's it.
Damn. And literally the next.
Listen, I'm going to take you for a drive after that because I got a few places I have to go. I need that, Kevin.
Can we get a ride too?
And then literally, like, I think like 2 or 3 days later, we were in there, and the most amazing thing happened is there was, he said, when you're getting ready to get in business, you need a table. And he said, when we go to where the studio is, we're going to have a table, and that's where we're going to do business. And lo and behold, when we went into this place, there was a table that was already there. I'm talking about this table's brand new oak table.
Well, I thought you were going to give me this little IKEA.
And I'm talking about this table was destined for us to have this
Tony
table.
Montana's big table?
Yeah, this is that type of table.
Oh, nice.
I mean, this table, and then
King Arthur's
and not only that,
table.
it was the table, and he had all the chairs reupholstered, so they're all super royal now. They have like red velvet with gold trimming.
I like that. Good taste.
And it's it's really aesthetic when you go inside of the facility because we have these big curtains, and it makes you just really feel
vibe.
It makes you feel
red.
regal. So
Yeah.
the music that we make is royalty music, like we talked about last time, because it's about establishing a level of abundance in each person, enriching them to feel a level of royalty and freedom within themselves to express their creativity, express their true spirit, because it's about being a free spirit. That's what this life is about, is being free and having a sovereign spirit that can express itself without the infringement of other people and outside forces. And that's what we want to get people back to that. And that's what Push Power 48 is about, is pushing people's magnificence to the forefront and having them own themselves. And that's what we're about, man.
That is truly
We're about the greatest things in the world. We're the greatest label in the world.
Okay, now we're peaking. Okay, yeah. He just went from super quiet to clipping the mic. Totally okay. We're just happy to have you.
I just
and
feel
that vibe
fantastic.
I know. It's amazing to have you here because the first couple of times that we met, we had to do it over a video.
Right.
We had a little time to kind of enjoy each other in the green room there, eating some food, right? Some good food right here.
Oh, man.
The food's amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sicilian Butcher.
There you go. That is a good place.
Yes, it is.
Also,
And the packaging that they did was wonderful.
Awesome.
I don't know if you saw. Did you see it,
cannolis
Dan?
were great.
I didn't.
You didn't? Okay.
I ate the pizza.
Yeah, you had the pizza.
Dan had
That's
the pizza. We had short ribs.
Short ribs and lobster something, right?
Yeah, the lobster tail.
We had the lobster tail pastry.
So I love it. He must have just drove by
And
that
cannolis.
restaurant. Went,
Don't
that's
forget
the one.
That's the one.
That's the one.
We're like,
So let's move over to Christina. Give everybody a little time, and we'll keep it
let's
coming.
go.
We have the Smart City Smart Academy, which is pretty much the coolest thing for any kid that's looking for an education in a new way, a new format. I think you're going to do it justice by explaining what it is, how you're doing it, and where all these locations.
Well, Dr. Jerry, I just want to thank you for having us here. Ace Media, you're awesome.
Thanks. Here's a 20.
Smart City, Smart Academy. What we want to do is bring back the fun for children to enjoy school, and we're going to give them a setting to where they can do that and achieve greatness at the same time. So we're going to put these STEM academies all over the world, starting here in the U.S. We're going to be in all of the communities around the U.S. that are in need of this, which is everywhere there's children. So we're going to start in Inglewood, Long Beach. We have our
Arizona?
sites. Oh, with no question,
Yes,
Arizona, Compton, Watts, Detroit, Chicago. We're going to hit a lot of major cities and a lot of cities that have not been touched. We're going to come and touch those areas, giving those children STEM. From kindergarten through college. We're going to roll out the Vibe Tribe so that the children
awesome.
will have a part of a mentoring program, have actual production opportunities, real production opportunities with media broadcasting, television, from radio podcasts, all the way to robotics. We're going to explore.
Music?
Oh, definitely.
Gotta have music.
Definitely. We're going to bring the art of instrumental music back so that way they can appreciate it. In a different way, have junior orchestras. What child wouldn't want to come to their music class and have a celebrity in there teaching them music and production that day? So we're also going to be rolling out the e-academies along with that. So we're going to have the first sports arenas along with the physical aspects as well. So we want the children to explore all this great technology and take it to its fullest, because technology is leading our children. So we need to use edutainment to entertain the children. Yes, edutainment. So we're going to educate the children with entertainment. And that's
Make it fun.
Oh,
Yeah, make it fun.
That's what it's all about.
No more drill sergeant
undeniably-
teacher.
No.
This is just fun.
Fun.
Yeah.
So Alice Cooper would like this.
Oh, Alex Cooper would like. He might be a professor.
He lives
one
here.
day.
He's right down the street, actually.
But
Can we
the
get somebody to
idea
call him?
is that we have these international schools, so our children can not only explore what's in their communities, but also see what's going on in other communities around the world. So they have the opportunity to commute from one campus to another and explore.
So it's like foreign exchange students.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yes. So from
Temporary visas, of course. Yes.
No permanent, but we're going to make it very alluring for the children and create not only great educational campuses, but safe campuses for these children as well.
That's key.
So
That's
that
amazing.
way they can go to school and be safe at the same time as having the opportunity to explore things that they may not have even had exposure to ever. So we want to bring those NASA engineers. We're going to bring robotics. We're going to bring, every facet of technology, from architectural engineering to, production engineering. Hopefully, guide our children. They're great artists like Jagger, but to teach them that why that lighting is important, why that stage is important, what was the logistics.
Yeah, I spent a lot of money to make me look good.
Yes, so
Yeah.
we need them to understand.
And I'm still not that good looking, so somebody's getting fired.
They'll have the opportunity
Jack.
to learn the
Yes.
logistics of production, as well as explore technology at the same time.
See, that's beautiful. You're helping the kids.
Yeah, that's got to be
It's all
very
about the
inspiring,
children.
you know?
Oh, we're going to change the way the children are going to explore education,
Yeah.
especially after this COVID and children have become accustomed to being at home.
They're only socializing on like video games.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And
Correct.
text messaging and social media. They're not doing the interaction. Remember when we were kids? Yeah, I didn't have a cell phone.
Got to go outside.
I had to drive. I had to ride my bike and go. That's where all the bikes are. That's
Yeah,
where
so
everyone's
That's
at.
it.
Right?
Yes.
You're
But I had to
looking for the
pedal my
bikes.
ass all the way over there.
Right.
These kids are like, here, let me get an Uber.
Yes.
Uber.
Yeah, it's totally crazy.
I know. So we'll take. I like to get everybody in so that way it's a round conversation. But tell us about the record label, Push Power 48. He kind of alluded to it, but you're probably going to do a little more justice because you just point, pick, and click and purchase.
Right. Well, we made this label because me and Jagger sat down and we were really just appalled at the way that the music was being weaponized and people were using derogatory terms towards women and putting pretty much each other down and things like that, and the energy was just negative in the music. So what we did, we were like, well,
Get a little closer to the mic so they can hear you. I know you're sitting back. You can lean back.
we were like, we need to change the narrative of music, and
I like
even the music that we place in films the narrative needs to be changed. So what we did was we put together a formula where you could take your family to the concert instead of it being 18 and over. We can bring the children, you can bring grandma. The music that we produce is for the family. That's why we call it royalty music, because people don't cherish the families anymore. People think that being independent is something great when it's really not. Being
No,
independent,
then you're alone.
Right, exactly. So what we wanted to do was create music where we can take and he can perform and it will create an environment for the family. And in our music you find nothing but love, happiness, everything that you're supposed to be portraying within your beliefs of of your God or wherever system you believe in. But everything is positive instead of negative. I mean, if you search his music, you won't find any cuss words. You won't find any derogatory slogans.
That's beautiful.
Only thing you're going to find is music that uplifts your spirit.
And his vibe is so attractive. Like the first time I heard it,
Yes.
I was like, put that man on the phone. He's coming on the show because it moved me. I even told you that
Right.
like the first time, and I started plugging it to everybody. I was like, it's like, did you hear about this guy? They're like, no. I'm like, now you have. Keep listening to it. And then we started adding you to our end credits because I want people either they're having a good time watching the show, learning about everybody, right? But at the end, they hear that music.
Yes.
Right.
And then they go,
Yes.
that's even better.
Yeah.
Right.
Now they're waiting to see the end of the credits because they're like, oh, they're kind of like vibing. Like
Right.
they're not even looking at the credits, right?
Right.
They're just going, yeah. And it's what was the name of the song?
Welcome to LA.
Welcome to-
Welcome to LA. I just
Yes.
wanted them to
It's
say
a
it.
vibe.
It's for the ladies.
Yeah. I saw his video. He's got like 60 girls
And
on the
you have
boat.
to understand, I wanted him to explain the spelling of his name. His name is spelled BLV, as in Victor,
Yeah.
CK. So I wanted him to give it a little explanation on why we put the
He's
V
Russian.
instead of the A. So tell him a little bit about it, Jagger. Why do you use the V instead of the A?
Well, I put it like this. I mean, I love to study. You know, I'm a huge scholar, and so for me, I'm about symbolism,
Nice.
and I'm about symbology, and so for such a long time, you know, black has been such a derogatory, you know, kind of spell that has been put on anything that people want to make bad. You know?
Actually, not my clothes because I wear a lot of black. I'm a little heavy. And it makes me look slimmer.
And so
That's right. They put me in the box.
And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to take two things that I love and combine them and then use the symbology of the vector symbol to receive all of the energy and now send it back in a positive way. So that's actually what the V stands for, is now I'm taking all of the energy from black and I'm now reflecting it back into the universe in a positive way. And now we're going to uplift the aesthetic. You understand? We're going to uplift the regality of the culture and everything that's related to it, and then how we universally are now going to reintegrate into the tapestry of humanity. So that's a part of the mission of what Black Jagger's all about, because, you know, I got the name from Jamie Foxx. Shout out to Jamie Foxx. I was performing at the Conga Room downtown Los Angeles at the Staples Center in LA Live. And I was in a band at the time called Radio Relics, and he was like, "Man, you're like the Black Mick Jagger, dude."
That's it, huh?
And then from there, I just was like, you know, this sounds great. And, you know, I really wanted to embody the rebel and the energy that Mick Jagger possessed when he was in the Rolling Stones, and kind of how he brought the British invasion to the forefront and, you know, really did a big thing in music. Yeah. And so now I'm doing the same exact thing. I'm setting a new revolution and setting a new standard and raising the bar for what music should do, which is enrich and uplift and bring humanity to a place where we can all build together and everyone can respect the truth of the now, so that we can create a future together. Mm-hmm. You see, it's just about healing through music and healing through truth, and so that we can preserve and conserve and steward, a better word, for the children that are getting ready to come.
I couldn't say that better if it was scripted. You're an amazing man. And the philosophy that you put behind it, truly cool. I'm thinking I thought originally you were going to be like, that's a V for victory, a victory for all music. But now that you've described this whole universal methodology that's backing it, that's truly amazing. It puts even more love from my heart to you, because I loved you before, but now I really love you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really love you. Like, you're helping kids. I'm all about helping kids.
Yes.
But
He loves you, man.
thanks for the backup, Dad.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Dr.
Because
Jerry.
of Jagger, the birth of the Vibe Tribe. The
I get
Vibe
it.
Tribe is that mentoring program that the children are going to be gifted with through the first launch of this.
He's got to be
program.
like a lecturer at that.
Oh, with no
Because,
question.
you know,
He's
I was
the
just found myself
inspiration.
memorizing. I was like, yes, I will buy you food. Yes, I will drive you to get more food.
Well, we're definitely going to share the love of his music to the world on our international tour, because we're planning our national tour to start in the U.S. and then outward bound, you know, to the world.
But we can also talk about the concert that you're going to be doing here in Phoenix.
Yes.
At the Marquee.
At the Marquee, August 27th.
He's going to be playing with Black Wolf Mountain, Next Evolution.
Yes, sir.
The band
Yes,
members
sir.
for those. So we're really excited to have you back there. We're going to be, I'll be on the side of the stage. Probably Dan will be like telling me, you know, that's where the drums go, Jack. That's what it is. But I can't wait for you to meet the bands that are there, because they've all watched, they've all seen it. They love the vibe. Everybody saw that, you know, when you guys came on the first time.
Right.
They were immediately like, yeah, we got to play it. And then you sent the song. I think it was the Beatles.
Yeah, come together.
And then they were like, we could learn this. Now, you know, that's why we all started
right.
connecting. And it was like, share the phone numbers and the emails. And look what just happened. Within 5 minutes, we got a band to mix with a singer-songwriter, and now you're both on stage. in front of thousands of people here, and the marquee is really like, as I said, it's kind of like the whiskey go-go of
Right.
here. Everybody's played there, right, Dan?
I haven't yet.
I know.
Will be.
Well, he's got an album coming out as well.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, yeah.
His band
Congrats.
is called Mississippi Nova. He is
Come
an
on.
outstanding drummer. We're going to let you guys listen to some of his music afterwards because he has a kind of a rock bluesy, what would you call it? Rock,
Psychedelic blues rock.
Oh,
That's right.
you know,
Yes.
it's,
Oh, yeah.
it's
I'm
the
into
wah
that.
wah.
It digs
it's,
in.
okay.
Yeah.
It digs in.
But he's a phenomenal drummer. You know, you were bringing up a lot of the artists and bands that, you know,
Yeah,
his
I wanted to
influences.
ask you. You already mentioned Beatles. That was your go-to with "Come Together," and then Black Jag, your name. What's your influence from that period of music?
You know, my biggest influence from that period of music is definitely Led Zeppelin and Jimi Hendrix and, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Wait, I'm going three-way. Don't let me hang. I'm a guitarist.
Jimi Hendrix
Yeah, man.
is my biggest artist influence because to me he's the most free-spirited
Absolutely.
artist that I believe we've ever experienced.
Yeah.
Because Jimmy trusted his natural divinity to lead him in his craft.
Did it.
Like he just did it. He didn't think about it. He played the guitar like that. He sang songs like that. There was no structure
Very
to
natural.
it. It was just
Like,
spirit.
And his riffs were outstanding.
He
Yeah.
could miss a note and then turn it into something beautiful.
Right.
Yeah, that's Jimi Hendrix.
He was the gift of improv
Not
because
ain't too many, if not any more of them.
he was such a genius because what he was able to do in the rock and roll genre was really fuse another futuristic type of jazz with
Absolutely.
rock and roll.
Well, that
And
came
people
from his
don't even
drummers, too.
understand how amazing
Yeah.
what he was doing was because of the improvisation
Absolutely.
and the skill level he possessed.
Mitch Mitchell on the drums.
Yeah.
He was a jazz dude who could hit a little bit, hit
Yeah.
with some velocity. So you really
Jimi
get
Hendrix experience.
Yeah, the three piece rock band. You know, Hendrix is your quintessential, and if you go to Zeppelin, you know, you
Yeah.
just Robert Plant's vocals, but
Yeah.
it's still a three-piece
Right.
musical band.
Correct.
And that's a great dynamic, man. That's my wheelhouse too.
Man, that's how it
Rock
starts,
on.
man. That's how my first band started. We were a three-piece musical band, bass guitar, and
So you were
drums.
playing the
No,
instrument.
I was just a singer.
singing.
Yeah, so that's
So what
how
other
we started.
band? You said a
Radio
bassist?
Relics.
No, you said you had a bass.
We had a bass,
drummer?
guitar, and drum.
Okay,
That was it.
well, that would be four.
Yeah, but I didn't play.
Three-piece music.
Oh, three-piece music.
instrument.
Yeah.
Okay.
Three-piece- Well, you
Like
vocals
Rush.
are an
Rush is a
instrument, too,
three-piece
but-
band,
Right.
Yes,
but he plays bass as well and sings.
similar to Zeppelin.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Singer.
Yeah, I'm getting it now.
I'm the front man.
Yeah, I know. You're up there, and you're good looking from
You
it.
know it?
I know. I saw all those videos.
And now, where? So you have some influence from the '60s and the '70s.
Yeah.
Now, where does the hip hop and the R&B and all? Who's those influences?
Man, you R&B. I mean, I start with the voices I heard growing up. My mom and dad played a lot of great music, so you know Sam Cooke, Donny Hathaway.
That's country, isn't it? Sam Cooke?
No, Sam Cooke's R&B.
Oh, there's another Sam
and
Cooke.
then you got I love country music though for sure. You have Stevie Wonder, Earth, Wind and Fire, Confunction, George Clinton, you name it, and then you got.
I
newer-
felt that you had one of the songs that I was listening to on your website.
Mm-hmm.
Has a guitar solo, and I went to Funkadelic in my mind when I heard it. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this sounds like Funkadelic.
Right.
You know, back in the
Super
90s, I
stupid,
did some
yeah.
work with the Earth, Wind and Fire.
You're talking
Really?
about amazing.
Yeah, they were in
Is
the
that the one
studio
with
at the
recording.
at the end.
They
It
came in.
reminded me of,
I wouldn't say we were doing a
Funkadelic,
song.
not
They were just
Parliament
dropping some
Funkadelic,
tracks
but-
just to hang out. And
You know.
I had definitely a lot of musicians, but Earth, Wind and Fire there. I had the Esquires. I mean, I've had a lot of people in the various studios, and throughout the years, we have had quite a few. I mean, I even did Ozzy. You know how long that interview was?
Wow.
I was like, get it out, Oz. Come on, get it out. And I'm just making fun because that's what I'm doing. Ozzy's the best.
Yes.
And he really is a cool guy. Don't get me wrong, but it was, you know, when he gets in a stutter, it's a stutter.
Right.
You know, and it was like, we'll be right back after this commercial. You know, because I was like, calm down, you know, because he needs to breathe. But
Right.
I'm like, just sing it if he can't say it. Because you know he can sing it. He never stutters when he sings. And there's another person like that. There's like a country singer. He was always on the Smokey and the Bandit. He was a stuttering singer, but
Really?
you know when they sing, they don't stutter at all.
Right.
And it's amazing, right? So,
But you know, speaking of musicians, you know, I think one of the biggest goals that I have as as an artist, and what we're all trying to accomplish is re-expanding the creative arena again, so that we can have more bands and we can have more young musicians and we can have more collaborative creation take place again, so we can have more studios built. Because
I think a lot of that problem is they're not teaching music like they used to.
right.
You know, you used to go to the school. I mean, you had to pick an instrument. I carried the saxophone.
Yes.
You know, I was in Chicago with snow. You kidding? I was like, I should have picked the flute.
Yeah.
You know, it's a hell of a lot easier.
Speaking of that, right? Because see, this is where there's a separation and a generational gap, right? And this is why the baby boomer generation, who has a primary amount of the wealth currently in this country, they have it because they had discipline. And so what's missing from a lot of the millennials is that discipline that came. A lot of the baby boomers know how to play instruments. They all had a hobby. They had something that they dedicated time to that allowed them to learn how to complete things and how to excel in something or just get an accomplishment. And so we got to kind of bring that back, because that'll help these kids really get through the whole problem of running away from their fears. And not being able to build real relationships and rapport in business or in personal relationships. And those are the type of things you want to address. And music helps because it helps you have a place to express.
Well, this
It also
will-
helps in academics.
Yes.
100%.
Musicians who are
Correct.
who learn music are usually better, higher grade point average,
Yes.
because they start to open up that creative side of their mind.
Correct.
And that mind is starting at an earlier age, which if you don't get it, it makes it harder, and then the depression and the functions
Kicks in.
Yeah, well, it can. It depends how you're being brought up. I mean,
Yes.
when we grew up, our parents kicked our butt, right? And that's called discipline.
Right.
I didn't do that again, right? And today, the kids are like, I got a lawyer on speed dial. Okay, touch
will
me,
get divorced.
and your history.
Right.
I own your house.
Right.
What?
I'm
You know.
emancipating you, Mom.
So, but back then we just had more discipline, right? You always saw your mom, when she would ring the bell or whistle or whatever, it was dinner time. You're like, I gotta go,
Yes.
Right.
right?
Yes.
I gotta go.
Yes.
And today they're like, I'll be done after this video game.
And well, we're speaking of that teaching to music. A lot of artistic children and special needs children, they have a disability on some learning aspects, but one thing that shows is music is universal.
It totally is.
And we do have a special curriculum for all those special children, so that we can be inspiring to them and teach them. There's music therapy, so there's all types of great attributes that we're going to offer to these
I
children.
think they should also add the philosophy.
Oh, well, look, this
getting
is
into that, 'cause that was
Jagger
mesmerizing.
is a large inspiration for this. When I met Jagger, I was so inspired by his passion and his music. It was just fitting, the children need to receive this type of embedding with music and coding, because they're led astray with so many different things. We need something to guide them back.
Yeah.
And I always call Jagger this, but he is such a great piper for the children, because he sends such a great uplifting message that it can inspire and lead them to greatness. So we take that, and give them the opportunity, one, to even have the opportunity to touch different instruments, to even explore what they can play or what they can do, because a lot of us live with ceilings in our life, and what we want to do is be the instrument to remove those ceilings off their life, off of their creativity.
Just the exposure to the instruments.
Correct.
Just to
Everything.
touch them and see what noise they make.
Period.
Yeah.
Period. To have that exploration, and to let them have a way of expressing themselves, to give them back their voice, in essence.
Yeah.
So,
They can
And one thing I love about music is that no matter where you go, like you can say one band, and everyone goes, "Oh yeah, I remember."
Exactly.
I remember where I was at that
Right.
moment when that song
Right.
came out, or this is a good music. Everybody at a table can either agree, like, it's not my type, but I can listen to it, right?
Right.
It's such an unbiased thing, and it's a very unifying thing, right?
Yes.
You go to a concert, everybody there likes the music that's being played.
Right.
Everybody's dancing. They're high-fiving each other like, yeah, that's a good song. That guy's rocking. That
Right.
guy's, great singer. Everyone's like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's unity. Unity is music. And I think throughout COVID, there wasn't enough music.
Right.
There wasn't-
Right.
I mean, you barely could hear it on the radio because you really couldn't go out.
Correct.
Right? And we don't have transistor radios with the antenna, right?
No.
I mean, everybody's got an MP3 player, so they're not really hearing the radio unless you're in the car.
Correct.
We need to bring back the music television, which is what we're doing here. We're going to bring back music videos. This is another place for kids and everybody to come. If we have the same people with the same message, all unified,
Yes.
I'll get more stars. You'll help me by bringing in stars that will say, yeah, we'd love to have you as a guest VJ. We'd love to have you tell the people and let them, as millions of kids are watching, that might be their, their number one person, singer or band, whatever. And they're giving the same message like, hey, the last half hour, you saw Black Jagger. We're this band and we agree with them. This is what we think. This is it. And it just like compiles the message. The message to each and every kid that's out there. And second, it'll motivate them to go and play an instrument, right?
Yes.
Like if I can do it, you can do it. And I think by having this smart city, by having a record label that exploits it, and then an awesome singer that makes the music that everybody wants to hear, all three of us, including Dan and the rock world, if you will, they're all collaborating now. And that is a key to our children's success because we are going to be in a nursing home soon. And I need to know that they have the discipline to come visit, right? That's number one. Right. And number two, I'd love to see them be successful in life, right? Whatever it is. I'm always like, do what you got to do. Be it. I'm a supporter versus a negative, like go get a job. Yes. No, I like it. Let them do what they got to do. My son, he's a national champion in esports. He plays all night. I don't say anything. I just say, you going to be for dinner with us tonight or no? And he says, no. Then I go, I'll bring the plate up. So I bring it to him.
Blessings.
Both of them.
That's a
Both of my
blessing.
kids are great. Awesome. So I would love to see this music school. And when can we start seeing the schools? What's the estimated time for the opening?
Well, we're getting ready to launch our pilot program thanks to Time Zone Studios out of Hollywood, California. They've donated classroom settings for us to run our pilot program next year. This upcoming school year in California. So we have 26 classrooms.
Six buildings, 26 classrooms.
Correct.
That's awesome.
Donated to us already, studios operating up and ready, and we'll start development because we're going to build special campuses for these children. So they're going to be resort campuses. So we're going to have, a setting where, say if we have a celebrity that wants to come in and do an entire project, they can be right there on campus, in the studios, where if we're broadcasting or radio podcast, whatever it might be, they'll be able, if they want to record their music albums, they can do a whole project.
So those kids are going to have a lot of awesome exposure.
Oh,
to
a lot
And
of
experience.
options.
Yeah.
And
But
experience.
they're going to want to show up.
Oh, what?
That's a difference. Like, I don't want to hear the yell.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to go to school. Can't you just call it sick?
It's like, oh man, Snoop is going to be there today doing his project.
Oh, yeah.
You hear that, Snoop?
You're going to have kids
But,
from other schools coming.
With no question, and that's what we want. We want them to be ready to tear down those doors to get that edutainment
Nice.
experience.
That's awesome.
That is a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
right
it's
there.
just
concept.
it's really just
It's
about
going to be contagious.
taking these children and putting them in a place to control their own future by putting them in position to own their intellectual property.
That's pretty amazing.
Yes.
And so we're all about creating independent thinkers with this new program and the programming that we're going to be rolling out, like she said, getting technology involved, getting kids financially literate, getting the families financially literate. It's about family, just like you said, how you support your children. It's important that we help people build strong households so that we're building leaders so that everybody can lead a house. Because if you can lead a house, you can build a business. And so,
Unless you're married. then you don't lead a house. You ask for permission. And you say, yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, I'm throwing that
Happy
garbage
wife,
out.
happy life.
That's right.
But that's the biggest focus, for me, and how culturally, I was raised is it's about this next 7 generations, and everything that we focus on is about building legacy for the next 7 generations of our family.
That's pretty deep. I got so many family members. You should come to my house. I got like 150 cousins.
Hey,
Yeah, we say 1 bottle of wine. We got cousins.
I just found out I have at least 200 relatives in New Jersey.
Really?
Yeah.
I pretty much could match you. But they're in Chicago, so we'll meet in the middle. And we'll rent out a banquet hall just to have Christmas.
Yeah, it's been, family is just the most important thing in the world, man. It's been a great journey. This is my family. I've spent a lot of time doing my genealogy and stuff, and so that's been a great thing too.
Did you do like Ancestry?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How far back did you go?
In the late 1600s right now.
See, I thought about doing that, but then I just didn't want to find out like my greatest grandpa was a jester. Like he was the town drunk.
But what if it was
You know,
opposite?
huh?
What if it was opposite?
Well, that would be good.
Like, king,
yeah.
and you got 30 palaces.
Well,
waiting
then
on
I'm gonna go collect. Where's my royalties? I got some studio time to pay for.
But it's been, I just love, that's why it's like the vibe. I'm so happy because everywhere I go, I'm family. I'm a family man.
That's it.
Everything we do is about the family. It's for the benefit of the family.
I know you all ordered the same thing.
You know what I'm saying? It's about
That's family.
That's
Right,
it.
Dan?
One of the best things about the school too is that we're looking for all of the student influencers, whether it be negative or positive.
Mm-hmm.
We have a place for everyone.
How do you bring a negative person in?
What we do is, if we have someone that likes to argue a point, then guess what? You're on the debate team.
Oh, okay. All right, that kind of negative.
always turn
I'm thinking
negative
like,
to a
should I call
positive.
Marilyn Manson?
No.
Should I have him come down? Like he comes in with his eyes and his painted face, and he's just like, what?
Well, we
Like
want
that's
to-
negative.
We want to
And he's cool, though, by the
inspire, because children that are already scholastically competing, you're inspiring the already inspired. So we have to light the fire up under the children who are not as inspired.
Yeah.
So we need to inspire them, and we have to captivate them with what captivates them currently, entertainment or whatever it might be. We're going to use that lure of whatever their interests might be to educate them with what entertains them. So we're going to explore those things and give them that opportunity to be that best. And then the influencer can then influence, but in a different way. So
I love that.
Yeah.
Find the catalyst for each person who needs to be inspired at that moment.
correct. And may not have a voice because that disruptive child may just not
They don't have the
a-
outlet.
and the form of
Right.
communication
Yeah.
to really do the expression
Yeah.
that's in their
They
head.
need to be exposed.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. And
Yeah.
give them that opportunity to express it and redirect.
You can do it this way.
There you go.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, and that's the influence that we want to have on the children, and for them to have that influence on the other children around them.
Are you gonna let people come in and do concerts there so that people
Yeah.
watch?
Yes,
Okay.
that's the fun of it all. We were going to have live events. We're going to have real concerts there. They're going to take part in real production. So it's not going to just be something, and they're going to produce all over the country out of these things. They're going to chime in on what they're doing in the Vibe Tribe in their community. Because they're going to take part into the community. So to inspire them to be different in their community, we're going to give them a different aspiration of love for their community, so that they'll take part within it. So they'll love the community they're involved with, and then they'll be able to display it to the world what we're doing at our Vibe Tribe here in our community. They're going to chime in all over and show what they've produced and filmed to show exactly what we're doing in our community. And that's how the vision of it all, where they're going to all work collectively.
It's almost like a creative competition,
It is.
It is.
right?
You got positive ownership
Yes.
Uh-huh.
is the
That's it.
thing. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Own your voice, own your ideas, and we're going to help them to formulate concepts of expression. So artistic expression, whatever that might be.
Yep. Through any kind of medium that you want to do.
Correct.
Right. It's for the kids.
Well, it's all about the kids.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That's
Well,
about-
you got to understand, as being a young person in the industry, when you grew up, or anyone in here, it was hard to find out, how do you meet a director?
Yes.
How do you meet
they weren't on
a
Craigslist.
publicist?
Right.
See, we're going to provide all the outlets for the children to be able to meet these people, so they don't have to go through what we went through, struggling, going out scrambling, trying to find these people. And in certain communities, it's hard to make that connection. So that's why we're bringing it to the schools and the kids.
It's almost like you created your own convention. No, seriously, because a lot of times you go to like Las Vegas because they have a keynote speaker. You buy the ticket, you go to see it. You hope that, maybe at the end they have like a little signing, or you can get to meet them and you can ask your questions. So I love the idea.
Yes.
You're making a spot for celebrities to go to really help
Correct.
versus
Well, it's even beyond. It's
the
even
way they
beyond the
wanna help.
celebrities, though.
What's that?
It's even beyond the celebrities, though, because it's anybody who participates in the production of great products. It could be a songwriter, a producer, it could be a cameraman, it could be a lighting specialist.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Because the
Director.
great
Sure.
because what happens is we want people to understand that there's so many ways to contribute to a great piece of art, so you don't ever have to feel small in a project. So it's like, if somebody's like, hey, I just want to be a part of this project, but I don't really know what I can do. Somebody can come to me and be like, hey, I didn't know what I wanted to do when I first started in the industry, but now I'm a camera operator. Or now I do post-production, and I'm
It's almost like you let them float
graphics.
around and let them try. Like, hey, I found
Yes.
out I like cameras.
and that's what it's supposed to be about, because especially like when you're raising children, it's supposed to be about observing them and allowing them to flow naturally to where their gifts will lead them, and we kind of restrict them early on. And now with these new smart academies and in the smart cities that we're doing, and now it allows the children to express themselves and navigate naturally to their mentors in the space that
That's
we
cool.
bring in.
Yes.
And
Very cool.
And also to learn the logistics. Like, it's not easy being Black Jagger. It's more than just getting in there in a booth and projecting it on the microphone. It's about, what is BMI? Do you have your BMI? Do you have your ASCAP in place? Have you done the things that you need to do as a artist, so you can perform your music and have it done correctly, the logistics to get to that point.
I'm going to say, if you guys remember that Rodney Dangerfield movie, Back to School, remember? You're saying exactly kind of like what he was imitating. And what they said is, we're going to do a company. And obviously in the movie, Rodney plays this very wealthy businessman, and he says, "Oh, you're way off." You know what I'm saying? Like, first you got to grease the politicians. So literally, what you got to do, what you're doing though, is you're helping people, because I've always believed that colleges treat you or train you to be a good employee. They don't train you to be an entrepreneur. Like,
Correct.
what do you need to do? Well, first you have to get your business incorporated. You got to search for a domain name.
Correct.
You got to get your insurance. You should start looking at these. I thought it would be great if you had like a flow chart or a little book that says, okay, step one. A lot of times we watch these YouTube videos, right? DIY. Everybody's broken a sink and they're like, I got to get on YouTube, man. How do I fix this, right?
Right.
If you're actually creating a booklet that everybody on the planet actually would like,
Yes.
because you're giving them the names of the producers or this to say this is how that this is how they want it. This is how they look for people as a record label. One of the questions is like, how do I send it? In the old days, we used to mail a tape. You pray. They would get all the mail back. It would stay there, right? They might get to you like 3 or 4 years later.
Right.
Today, they're like, email me, right? Or
Right.
check me out on Audible or
Right.
or all the the SoundCloud or all these different
Right.
vibes. How do you send your music out? Like, how do you give it to people to?
Well, it's electronic mostly.
Yeah.
You can do you can do some vinyl and stuff, but most people just want to go on the vinyl is like a novelty.
Yeah.
CDs. I mean, hell, when's the last CD player you saw in a car?
I have a
Cassette tape.
tape player. I have a
Oh, there you
cassette
go.
player on my motorcycle.
Except for Jerry.
Yeah.
But it's all electronic.
It's a great.
It's
bike.
all electronic, and that's the way it's reaching the world. The internet, cryptocurrency.
Yeah, but I know, like you
music.
used to buy a CD, right?
Oh,
We'd
please
go and
tell
buy
me
a
not
CD
mine.
and it had 10 tracks on it or 11.
The artwork and the custom input from the artist was received a little better when there was CDs, because you get the booklet, you get the lyrics,
Yeah.
right? You
Pictures.
get you get all the
Yeah.
cool,
All
the little,
the
the cool
great
stuff.
pictures, yes.
And now it's like you just Google the band and look
I
at all their
think-
photos and all the bad stuff or good stuff they did, and
Right.
There it is.
and there it is.
And that's why you have to be an artist who can create immersive experiences, and that's what we're going to be specializing here at Push Power 40, especially with the Black Jagger project and all of the rollouts for like the visuals are more like film projects.
So you're using the kids and helping or letting them make it, or are you?
Oh yeah, we're gonna
We
we're
have-
gonna be
we have
having
full
kids writing
production.
scripts and doing all
Yes.
kind of
Amazing.
stuff. It's
Every
gonna
That's
be
cool.
aspect of it.
it's gonna be
Yes.
super great.
We have a 5-bedroom production house at Push Power 48. We green screen. We do video production. We do post production. We do music recordings, and they're all for the children. We want the children. We're going to have a show that's going to be starting in probably like 4 to 5 months called the Jagger Experience, where we're going to be flying in children from all over. We want them to be a part of the project. We want them to write. We want them to produce. We want them to film. We want them to do everything. So they're going to live in the house. And every morning we're going to film it, and every morning it's going to be a show where they wake up and they create. And it's going to be different rooms doing different things. So when we put it all together, it's going to be the project. So after they all meet and get in there, and then also while they're doing the production, we have a kitchen that has a cook show.
Yes.
Oh, really?
So a chef is going to come in and be chefing for these guys while they're
I
working.
could that is going to be just so funny. It'd be like, and now we take you to the kitchen
Yeah.
Yes.
with Cooking with Bob.
Exactly.
And then he goes, we have student A coming in because, student Tommy, he's coming in and he wants eggs, right? But he's going to give it to the cameraman in Studio C. I don't know why I just flipped to that radio voice.
That's so funny. I love it.
It
Maybe
works.
because I'm auditioning.
It worked.
Maybe because I'm auditioning. I love it.
Yeah, but pretty much we just want to build a space for the kids to come be safe and create.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
Yes.
We got to get kids off the street. They don't even know where to go these days.
Look,
Yes.
even the material that the school is being built out of is bulletproof. It's going to be
Bulletproof?
yes. Look, we're not
What kind of
gonna let
neighborhood you move into?
Well, look, we're going to come in areas where this is not usually given as an opportunity. So we want the children to be safe. Communities are getting a little tough out here, so we need to make sure that we protect them even more so. So when they come to school, we don't have those worries that a stray bullet's going to come through there.
One
or
less thing to worry about.
One less thing to worry about.
That's the ultimate thing to worry about.
Oh, yeah.
A stray bullet.
Well, I mean,
I mean-
you got to think
I mean,
about it.
yeah,
I mean, we've had more
that's
mass
number one.
shootings at schools than any other country.
Correct.
You
I come
understand?
from Chicago.
And
Do you know how I had to zigzag to get to class?
And those schools aren't necessarily in inner
Serpentine.
those schools aren't necessarily in inner city areas. So it's definitely about just keeping everybody's
Children
child
safe.
safe.
Absolutely.
You understand? Because
Correct.
we're beyond black and white. We're beyond all of the color stuff. So right now, what it's about is how secure is my child's life, mind, and spirit. You understand? And so everything that we focus on, and we all should be focusing on, is how do I give my child the best experience and perspective on life until they can go and create their own world. And so that's our responsibility as parents, and our responsibility as human beings.
That's
and
always
and
it.
this gives a support system to the struggling public school system as well. Because we're going to be giving and offering a lot of things that aren't even available in their budgets. They don't have instruments in those schools. Some of them.
Right.
Some schools do not.
They're
even
playing
have
buckets.
Well, they don't have access to
Right.
real artists coming
real
in.
artists,
Yeah.
I've seen 'em.
or even not even that. Some schools don't have gyms, so they don't have an opportunity to even have a gym.
And 90% don't have after-school programs.
Correct. Or
That's a shame.
or it's just like a latchkey.
So where the hell is all this
with no
politician
educational,
money going?
baseline to it.
Oh,
That's crazy.
Oh no, we've
I
hit
think
it.
that's a different show.
Yes, that's right. We don't talk politics here. I just want to see if there's a way that anybody that was listening would say, "Hey, we could apply a grant. We could apply this to that."
Definitely.
The answer to
Right?
the question is
Right.
not there.
School. Yeah. But there should be. I mean, and I
Yes,
think if we get enough people to
We
kind
can
of
get
do
it
it,
there.
Correct.
politicians are going to have to listen to the people, right?
100%.
If they want those votes,
Correct.
We the
send a
people.
check.
We have to come together, and that's what this is hopefully going to create the momentum of communities coming together. in this, because there is no barrier of color or different. Music is universal. The expression is universal, and we want to bring that universal feel. So it's an open minded way of thinking, campus, and just lifestyle. So hopefully we can spark a change there as well, because our youth is our future, and if we don't invest in our future, then we're not going to have anything.
Because it's all about creating change through coalition building, so we can create
Correct.
policy to push progress.
There you go. Man,
That's it.
you're going to run for politics soon. You have the vibe. I think we should put him in front of education, be an education minister or something like that, right?
Education.
I'm all for it.
I know you should.
You get
I
an
mean,
outfit
your
with that.
philosophy on life, you're kind of thinking like a lot of parents. Any parent is thinking very similar to what you are. A lot of parents just don't know how to communicate, right?
Yes.
The biggest thing is, what do you want to do? I don't know.
Yes.
Pick something.
Yes.
Like what? I don't want to go around in a circle. I'd rather walk them into a school like this and say,
Have
explore.
At it. Have at it.
You know, run around with your friends. They
You
come back.
got to expose the kid, all right? Or,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
I was very fortunate growing up. My parents put stuff in front of us. You know, my dad was a pro ball player, and he put baseball in front of me. He put musical instruments in front of us, and we had a piano in the house, drums, guitar, and he let us make all the noise that we wanted. You know,
I was Irish. I learned all the liquors. Whiskey, beer.
Hey, it's all
I always
love,
say that
man. It's all
jokingly.
love.
Yeah.
But it seems like you're bringing people together with the groove.
That's
Yes,
it.
yes.
Yeah.
And we're actually going to be that support system for those parents where they may have that inspiration to want to be able to provide it, but they may not have the means.
Yeah.
So we're going to be the means
You got
for
that.
them.
You got the answer.
Correct.
Got
Correct.
the
It's
So-
very important as a parent, you know, because I'm getting ready to be a parent soon.
What?
So it's important to, I think the greatest part about me and the thing I love is I sell my imagination. So as a parent, you can't lose your imagination, because that's going to be your greatest gift that you can use when raising your children.
I work in television. I'm all about imagination.
See? And that's why your kids are excelling in esports.
That's probably right. And the graphics.
Jerry's got a couple geniuses for kids.
That's right.
You know, because my dad, my dad, his father was a test engineer at Hughes Aircraft, and then he was a software
Hughes?
engineer. Yep.
Wow.
And then he was a software engineer. He's worked for countless of those triple letter agencies and different stuff like that throughout his career. And
Right
you know,
on.
I definitely have inherited that DNA. You know, and
The work ethic.
and the work ethic,
The
and the
determination.
mindset,
Pride.
and just understanding what family and tradition is about, and just wanting to have a higher mindset. You know, and have that for everybody.
I could do everything but sing. You hear me sing, you'll be like, ooh. Oh, you got a voice for cooling soup. Somebody say soup? I'm eating.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried singing?
No, just a lot of voiceover work.
Background?
No, like
voiceover.
commercials.
Yeah, he's a big commercial guy here in the
that-
valley.
all that kind of
Parker
fun. All
and
that- all
Sons.
that fun
Is that
stuff.
conditioning?
I definitely hear it.
Well, I'll show it to you afterwards. You can watch his commercials.
I can soothe you.
Oh, look,
Look at
radio
that.
voice.
I got to get you in to do some skits.
Yeah, man, I got you.
Hey, you guys, meet my friend Dan.
I want to be just a background person. I always like to do this. I play dead people in TV series. You know what I'm saying? Well, trust me, you get the close up. You know, you're always like, they always zoom in like, that's the guy who died. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're like, Jerry, don't breathe.
Okay.
And I'm
That's
dead.
the
You know, they
guy
paint my
who
face gray. They try to make
died.
my, you know, they do all that makeup and then you just lie there dead, right? But you always get the close up. It's better than any extra. Like, you know how hard it is for you to go, wait, there I am.
Right.
Rewind it. There I am.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
I'm the
man.
guy in the red shirt. You didn't see it?
You
No.
didn't see-
There's
rewind
600 people in the crowd.
Oh,
you know, I'm
man.
the tallest guy. You know, but a dead person?
Right,
There's only
right
one.
there.
Right?
You know, they definitely got to show the death and destruction. That's going to be for sure. Ah, catch that dead guy. Mutilation. Zoom in. 3 seconds.
Gotta
Hold
let
it.
them know.
That's why you want to be a dead guy in these TV series.
Right.
You get the close up.
You get the
like,
close up.
like you're going, Mom, didn't I do a good job? She's like, you're dead. I didn't move worth a crap.
You hear that, kids? The dead guy.
Yes, you did good. That's my little boy, the dead man. So nice. You look so dead. It was so emotional. Yeah. Okay.
This has been great.
I cried when I saw you die.
Exactly.
We have to have a little fun, right? You could, you see, we could just laugh. People
what it's
need
all
to
about.
laugh.
Yes.
If they have a little laughter, the whole world would be better. Could you
Right.
imagine putting some of these country leaders together and throwing a whole bunch of beer and then locking the door?
Yeah.
They come out, they'll be like, we are now never going to war again, right? This guy's great. They should try his too.
I think that we should just put them all in a giant room and just put a bunch of feather pillows in there and then leave them in there for 24 hours and just let them get their aggression out. And
There you go.
That's it.
Hopefully they're not like De Niro. I analyze this.
Pillow fights.
Just pillow fights. That's all they get to do. Pillow fights. That's it.
Oh, we got to
beer and
record
pillow
Beer
that.
and pillow fights.
Yeah.
Beer and pillow fights. That's it. That's how we solve all the world issues. Beer and pillow fights solves all the world issues.
Speedo and moon boots. I'm adding that. Okay? You're adding fluffy pillows? And you think, I can just imagine Putin. Oh, you bastard. You bastard.
Oh my goodness.
We're getting way off track. We were talking about music. Now we've actually produced an SNL skit, right?
Yes.
Today we will be doing this. You know what? That's another thing we should do. Kind of in the school. What would be good is to have kind of the old vaudeville, right? Improv.
Right.
Oh, for sure.
Because there are some funny kids out there.
Yeah.
What?
And they need to, you know, that might be another outlet.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
my outlet is humor.
Yes.
I try to make people laugh. You're laughing, you can't hate me.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Even an officer.
Oh, kid
You were doing
sketch
120.
comedy
I
would
said,
be
"But
great.
let me tell you this joke. You know?
A kid sketch
like, "You're
comedy
pretty
would
funny,
be
kid. You're outta here."
amazing.
Huh?
A kid sketch comedy would be amazing.
That would be
no
hilarious.
question.
I mean, look at Disney.
Yes.
Disney made a fortune off of doing those, you know, those shows.
Correct.
You know, even our friend Darius Love was on Nickelodeon. Allison
Yes.
Mack.
Right.
You know?
Shout out to Darius.
Shout
Yeah.
out to
Shout out to
The
Darius
man.
Love.
Oh yes, he actually helped to bring this unification.
I know. I was
Right.
surprised. I
together.
thought
Without
he
no
would be coming
Darius,
with
there
you.
wouldn't be no us.
There we go.
Darius has been a long friend of mine for about 15 years.
Awesome.
We've been together through, you know, like thick and thin, right? Everybody has ups and downs.
Right.
You need somebody to lean on. You know, you need, and he's another good vibe person, right?
Love him.
Oh, yes.
He's very religious. He's got that whole great vibe and that huge smile, right?
Yes.
You know when you see that smile, you're like, all right, I'm not that mad anymore.
And he's all about.
I'm
the
like,
children,
don't do it anymore, man.
know,
You know,
so-
I'm already happy enough. You know.
Don't forget, he's a
Yeah.
great actor.
Oh, he is a great actor.
Don't
Yeah.
forget
Yeah,
that.
we've had him on the show a couple of times.
Okay.
And I played some of his clips from NCIS where he also played a. They were taking fake photos of a dead person, right? He was
get the dead role?
He was a detective, so he was faking that he was dead. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I did that.
Yeah.
You know, you had to pull it here. I had it right here. You know, mine was Italian show. You go 2 here and 2 here.
My God, yeah.
Oh man.
I've been in quite a few movies myself, but only
Okay.
as extras. Has anyone else been? I know you were in. I saw you in the Beyonce video. Was it? You were. What was the name of that song?
Black is King.
Black is King.
Yeah. And then
But she was in all white.
I was
Just calling that out, right? Yeah, the big, like, what do you call it? The Kentucky Derby hat. I don't know what it's called. I'm sorry, not.
I was on an episode of Sequest when I was younger. I did a commercial for an insurance commercial. I've done.
Were you Jake?
Jake.
Oh,
Jake in
from
the
State
Jake at 3
Farm.
in the morning. What are you wearing, Jake?
What are you wearing?
I'm wearing a black Jagger jacket and no pants.
Oh my God.
Let's see. I've been in a couple music videos. I've done. What is those? What are those?
Can I be in one of your music videos? Because, you know, like even the one you had on the boat, you had all these like beautiful girls,
Jerry
right?
in the
I'll just
back.
be the skipper.
100%.
Just be like, hey, I'm
As
driving
a
with all
matter
these
of
beautiful
fact,
girls.
we should just redo Gilligan's Island.
Don't tell me I'm the skipper.
You're gonna be skipper.
Man, you're Gilligan then.
There we go. It's done. Say no more.
Well, he's gonna be the
Whatever you say,
professor.
So I'm
You're gonna be
gonna have.
was it Ginger or Marianne? One of the two.
Yes.
And you
I'm
can be
Mr.
the
House.
professor.
No, I'm gonna be Black Jagger. I'm gonna be a Black Jagger on my cruise, on my nice fly cruise ship, and you guys are gonna be in the SS Minnow, and I'm gonna get my directions from you guys, and we're gonna go on a treasure hunt on an island through one of the music videos.
There you
It's
go.
gonna be awesome.
I like that.
That's good.
Do I have to arrange the boat?
Yeah,
Okay, no problem.
I'll get mine.
You got one?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Monaco and get one and come.
A big one.
Yeah, we're gonna do a big.
Maybe you better get the both. I was literally going with the SS Minnow.
Yeah. I'm
called a canoe.
gonna bring the Jagger, and then we gotta get the minnow.
Yeah.
You feel me?
But I still would love to be in one of your
Yeah, for
videos,
sure,
right?
man.
You know,
Yeah.
it's something small. I'm not asking to be like, you know, a front man. Like I said, I'll just be that 2 second where it goes.
If we gonna
Like
do it,
cross
we
my
got to
face.
do it the right
You know,
way.
I'm
No,
wearing,
no,
I
you
got
gotta be the
patch
jam
on.
man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we get a close up.
Man, we can't have a good vibe song with a dead guy. Like,
Okay.
he was nice. He's on the ground now.
It's like Weekend at Bernie's, man.
Yeah, you're just gonna hold me and drag me. There you go. Isn't that crazy? Thanks, Dad, for making me even feel worse.
We gotta make the script work. Storyboards, man.
yeah.
Storyboard. There you
All
go.
about storyboards.
You guys,
I got quite a
I'm not
few good
leaving you
ideas.
alone when you make my storyboard. All right. You like Jerry wearing Speedo and moon boots. He'll be dead. We're gonna be dragging him through.
Okay, we definitely have to do this at the drama club for the children. So
Easy on the pounding.
drama
Goes to all
club
the
on
spikes.
steroids.
Oh my God.
For the children.
Wait, we're giving steroids to children? Did I come back on this?
No, the program.
Oh, the program.
With the
Thank
program. No drugs.
Okay, good. It's like there goes the whole vaccine thing. We'll make you big and strong. You'll fight that vaccine with these. You know.
Oh my God.
I love it.
Again, this show is about having fun, right?
Yes.
So
It's all
we
about
try to
fun.
get the message out, but I have to make you laugh.
All the
It's
time.
part of my my motif.
It's the medicine.
My shtick, right? Well, when you're laughing, I can get you to talk about other things that maybe come up because you never know. Like you're in conversations with other people, and then you start to talk about something. They go, you know what? I have that, and then they tell a great story. So let me ask you, what is one of your favorite stories in music? Like you were on the set, you were doing a music video.
Oh,
Okay,
I have a very interesting story. So
please tell us.
the day before Whitney Houston passed away, I got to speak to her on the telephone.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, it was very. So I used to do events in Hollywood all the time.
Is it a wrong number though?
So no, I have
Okay.
actually been talking to her assistant all day
Mm-hmm.
because I was doing a event with a good friend of mine at the time, a guy named Jason Lee, and then another artist by the name of Kelly Price. Sorry, I almost forgot Kelly.
Shout
Price.
out Jason Lee.
Shout out Jason Lee. And so Hollywood Unlocked. And then we were putting an event together, and she called thinking that my number was actually Clive Davis's assistant's number. And so I told her it was the wrong number, and then I talked to her for maybe 2 minutes. But the fact that I got to talk to Whitney Houston was pretty fire. And then I saw her.
That's killer.
And then I saw her later on that night because she came to the event. And so, I always hold that memory pretty,
That's pretty tight.
it was pretty tight. That was
I mean, she
one of the
was
tightest
so
memories.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And her voice,
Even more beautiful.
yeah.
Speechless.
Yes.
She, even watching her in The Bodyguard, I know every guy was like, "Oh, I'll protect you, man. Just put me on that squad. I'll go half price, right? You got a sister or something?
Yeah, I
You can jump
got
in
some
on
cool
this.
stories.
You
but
can be my
that was
bodyguard. You got this.
I got to check with the lady.
Oh, yeah. It's acting.
Well, I know.
Everything's legal in acting. Okay? You can kiss other women when you're acting. That's why I'm making movies.
Oh my God, you're dead, man.
No, I know. I know she's watching right now. She'd be like, that was real funny. The whole family's watching. She knows I'm kidding.
I know.
That's
It's
hilarious.
actually one of those green mannequins, right? They just fill it in CGI because the other girl doesn't really want to kiss me.
Right.
Just kidding. So, well, it's actually been the full hour.
Oh,
I have to.
wow.
I know we got everything out.
Yes.
First of all, I want to thank Christina for coming in from LA. Smart City, Smart Academy, ultimate new
Yes.
way for kids
Shout out
to
to
get
my
out
hometown
and
of
get your
Detroit,
experiences.
Michigan. I love you. I do
Kevin
this for you.
Fisher from Push Power 48, the record label that everybody in LA is now seeking to be a part of, especially if you're a kid and you know where he lives, you can go to that house right now and be on the cooking show, be on the laundry detail. You can be on quite a few things. And of course, Black Jagger, the man, the hour. The man who has a great vision on music, has a great vibe. Your music is outstanding. I loved it since the day I heard it, and I want to thank you all for coming on. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
having
I want to
us.
say, I want to give one shout out. I want to give one shout out to my family, I just want to say shout
And you
out
gotta
to my
do that.
family.
And I got to give a shout out to Darius Love.
Darius
Made it
Love.
all happen.
Darius Love,
and
yes.
he should have been here today.
sir.
Of course, we all loved. I would love him here because he's welcome here anytime. You know, he doesn't even need to call. He just says I'm out front, right?
right.
And I also got to thank my boy Dan Corey, who made it out today too, sis. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching In Question, and it's been another great episode. We hope to see you next week. And also, please note on our final state, we are going to be now added to 15 new television channels around. We'll be in LA on, I think it's, I'm going to post all of the new channels, but we're on 15 new stations and 12 new networks.
Amazing.
So this show right here is going to reach people. They liked what we're saying, even though, we talk about music, we talk about, a variety of things, but in the end, it's about helping people. They recognize it, and then this is a way for other artists, bands, and just people in general, like yourself,
Absolutely.
to get their message out. And if they allow us to keep going, we'll keep going. So once again, thank you for watching. We'll see you next Friday, 3:30. Start telling your friends, and please subscribe and check out our new Ace Media TV and the new music channel coming out here in August, Foqus TV, Foqus TV.com. Music videos, and we're going to be starting with Mr. Jagger being one of the first videos to ever play, because you remember how memorable that was. The first song on MTV was Dire Straits.
100%.
Yeah,
You know? So thanks again. We'll see you next week. We'll be back.
Love you, DJ.
Adios.
She said she was from Colorado. One day she would win the lotto. Ran away from home and it's been a long road. And she wanna be